Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to Stormreach and Dungeons & Dragons Online. Now, if you're new to Dungeons & Dragons Online, you've just stepped off the boat in Korthos, or if you've been playing a while and just soloing, one of the first things you're going to want to learn now is how to group up. In this quick guide, I'll show you how to create an LFM, which is looking for more, join a party, offer a few tips that'll make questing together fun and smooth, and prepare you to start grouping. You ready? Let's jump on in. Okay. Let's start by walking through how to join a group using the LFM or looking for more panel. So the way we do this is we want to open the social tab. So step one is to find our social tab. We can either do this one of three ways. One, we can go down to the menu here and just look for the social button and open it there. If it's something we're doing quite a bit, and hopefully we're searching for groups quite a bit, and you don't want to do that, you can drag it to a spot on your menu bar, and then you've got it right there to click and open up. So that's the second way. The third way is to just simply use the hotkey. Now, there's hotkeys for everything available on DDO.com, but O will open up the social tab. So I'm going to click O to open that up. So step two, we're going to look at the grouping tab. So we've got all these different tabs up here. Just briefly, who shows you who's online. Friends, if you have a friends list, this will be populated with people that you added to that list. If you're in a guild, this is where your guild is. And then grouping is where we want to be. So this is the groups tab. This is where you'll see all the active LFMs that have folks looking for more adventures. So obviously step three is to browse the list. So we're going to look through here and see. What you'll find out is a lot of times mixed in with real groups are people advertising something. Now, this is usually not spammers or anything like that. They're usually people that are wanting to trade for something, or to, they're hyping their guild, hoping to get more membership. Two things from this. One is don't do it. This is considered annoying, so don't do this. It may be effective, but it's kind of considered rude, and it used to be against the terms of service. Not sure if it still is, but maybe. And second of all, don't ever join a guild that advertises an LFM. Clearly, they'll take anybody and everybody, and they're desperate, so stay away from that. Okay, now back to our regularly scheduled programming. So let's say there's a group I want to join. This will show me all about those groups. So if I hover over the group, I see more information about the quest. Now this is what do you go? An explosive situation. So it's a level 4 quest. I'm level 4, so this is appropriate. It's highlighted, which means I'm in the right range for that. And then over here, that'll tell you the level range, classes needed. Almost nobody uses this anymore, except for maybe raids, which are special 12-person groups. But we're talking about the 6-person grouping for normal quests. So the only reason you would use this is if you're looking for a particular class. This was useful back in the early days of Dungeons & Dragons Online, when you pretty much had to have a party with all the classes represented in order to be successful at higher levels. It's not the case anymore. So most people don't even touch this or list these. And then this first one is the name of who started the LFM. So Pseudo Sleuth was the one that listed this. This is how long the adventure's been active. So probably they're pretty close to being done. So I don't know that I would want to join that without sending them a note. This also tells you if it's going to expire. If it's got an expiration list here, it means it's the public, which means if I join that and I meet the requirements, bam, I'm instantly admitted into the party. So once you pick it, all you have to do is one of two things. You can simply double click it, which it tells you up here. You could click join, and that does the same thing as double clicking. Or if you want to ask this person a question about the group, or ask them, maybe they're doing the first one in the series, you want to know if they're doing the whole saga or not, you can hit tell. If I highlight that and hit tell, it shows up here. You see in my window down here that I can tell Pseudo Sleuth whatever I'm wanting to ask him or her, and I can set a tell that way. So those are the ways. So basically, once you pick the group you want, click join, and you're in. Okay, so if you don't see a group out there that you want, or you want to start your own group, we're going to talk you through how to do this. So Remember, this is a massively multiplayer online game. So that means you want a group. So don't be intimidated about this. I'm going to show you how to do this and make a group that fits exactly what you want to do. A lot of times, if you look to join groups, you might see that they're at the higher levels of difficulty. So you have normal, hard, elite, and then levels of Reaper difficulty, which is the highest level of the game. If you're new, you might not want to join a group that has Reaper right away. Maybe you want to explore and go a little slower. So you want to start your own group. We're going to talk about how to do that. So just like before, you have three options to open up the social group. One, you can click down here to the menu button over in the corner and click the social tab. That will do it. Or remember, we drug this to our menu bar, so I could click that and open the social tab. Or third option, I could just hit the O, which is the hotkey for the social bar. So once I'm in that, we're going to create our party. So once we're there, we're going to click Create Edit LFM. And that's going to pull up this screen. So let's talk about this real quick. This is what I talked about earlier as far as you can limit classes. I wouldn't touch this. The only reason, again, you would want to do this is, let's say you have a full raid and except for you need a specific tank or you need a specific cleric. You might want to limit that there. Even in that case, most people don't do it. They just type it in the comments. So I wouldn't touch this. The level range will pre-populate for where you are. So generally here I am. I'm a level 4 character, so it's assuming I'm going to want to create a party for 2 to 4. But let's look at the level. Let's say I want to go ahead and run a level 2 quest. Bringing the Light would be a good one. In the harbor. So I'm going to list Bringing the Light, and I'm going to start it on hard. So this is where I select what quest I'm going to do. I would strongly recommend when you do this to fill out the comments and add details about what you're wanting to do. If you're a new player, put in here, new player learning quest. Come join me. Or, whatever you want to say in there. Maybe you're, like a lot of times what I will do is if I'm running like a whole series, I'll put in there what I'm doing. Like I'm running all the Ravenloft Part 1 quests. And that way people can get kind of a feel whether they want to join your group and get in on that chain or not. So that's a good thing in the comment. Here I'm just going to put test only. Do not a real group. And we're going to update the party. I'm going to change this one to 1 to 4, and I'll show you why here in a second. So we're going to click to update my party, or you can click advertise looking for new players. Either one is fine. And on my screen over here where my LFM is, you'll soon see there's my LFM now listed out here. So this is Sword and Board, my this character who happens to be carrying a bow. Go figure. But so I've got this listed. Okay. Next thing to do is wait for people to join. Okay, now it just so happens I have this other character here. Say hello to Icon Heals. I'm a cleric. I open up the social panel. I see that, oh, there's a group. So let me join that group. So I'm going to double click on it. And it says I'm requested to join. Let's see what happens on the other side. All right, here's Sword. Now I've got it. Somebody wants to join. So I see down here Icon Heals wants to join me. I also see it up here. So if I want to accept that person here, all I got to do is highlight and hit accept. Or I can do it right here from the chat window and say, yeah, I want to accept their request. And voila, there Icon Heals is now in my party. We now have a shared party chat we can discuss things in. We also I can see their hit points, their skill levels, how much spell points they have left, and so on. So we're in the same group now. It doesn't mean that they all of a sudden are teleported to where I am. It just simply means that they're now in the same group as me and we can travel on together. So that is how you create the group. Okay, so finally we're going to close with some tips and tricks about grouping that should help your grouping experience be successful, whether you're joining a group or leading it. And the first thing we need to discuss is voice chat. Now, a lot of games today don't use voice chat. A lot of folks who do group and use chat are using Discord or their guild's Discord, or something besides what's built into Dungeons and Dragons Online. But some folks still do use voice chat, so we're going to talk about it briefly. So the way that you utilize your voice chat is you want to go to your menu, go to your main menu, and then we're going to choose options. So in your options, you've got all these different things here, but one of them is audio. So if you scroll down in audio, you will get to where your sound playback is and what your microphone is. You can find these both in here. So it's simple, just to make sure, even if you're never ever going to talk in voice chat, I recommend that folks go ahead and enable voice chat. That lets you hear other people, and you can see you have a little tiny little green speaker by my name up here in that top right corner. So, excuse me, top left corner. Right, left, difficult concepts. So if that's on, you've got your voice on. If it's off, voice chat is not enabled. And if another player speaks using voice chat, you will not hear them. So I do encourage you to at least turn that on. And you can see my party member that joined me earlier, Icon has heels. She has voice chat turned on too. I can tell by her little speaker there. Now, let's say that Icon has heels is super annoying. She talks really loud. She's got fan noises in the background. Her kids are screaming. Bad situation, right? So I can click on that, and you get a volume bar here. I can turn Icon has heels down or off or whatever I want to do, just to make sure that those noises don't ruin my game experience. The second thing about push to talk is if you do are talking, if you do want to chat, make sure your push to talk is on. This is the default, and your push to talk key is F on your keyboard. Just like you're paying respects to the dead. F, 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 F's what you're doing. So when I hold down my F key, it's going to pick up what's on my microphone. So it might get echo here, but I just want to demonstrate. See, there's the echo because it's coming through my volume too. But that's how you push to talk. It's not going to pick up my voice in the game unless I hold down that F key. And that can be changed in your gameplay, or your key mapping rather. I can just type push to search for push to talk. It tells me the default's F. I can clear it and change it to whatever I want it to be if I don't want it to be that. So that's the brief details about push to talk. Bottom line is, I would make sure I keep it on, but you need to know how to disable it and not be annoying by having your open mic during the whole quest. All right. Second of all, when you're starting a group, communicate clearly. So this means that if you're new and you want to take it slow, make sure your LFM says new to game, exploring quests slowly. A lot of times the default mode to players that have been playing this game for a long time is to run as fast as they can, get the loot and experience points, and bolt. Well, that's probably not your experience you want if you're exploring a quest the first time. So make sure you're clear about that. If you're joining a group, just type hi in party chat or thank you or whatever, just to let them know that you are an active person, you're there, you can communicate, and that you're there. And they will often tell you, hi, welcome, or almost finished, or join us here, or we'll wait for you, or whatever the case may be. So you want to watch that party chat, which is, again, over here in your party window by default. So bottom line is just be communicative with each other and communicate those things. Tip 3 is to be prepared. Don't assume that other people on that quest are going to heal you particularly, or remove your curses and so on. Once you start gathering a little bit of money in this game, you're going to want to go to a vendor and buy heal potions if you can't heal yourself, ways to remove your curse, ways to remove disease. Again, think Dungeons and Dragons in the tabletop sense. You don't want to find your character unable to do these things if you're in the middle of a quest and have bad outcomes. Remove blindness is critical. Those are all sorts of things you're going to want to keep. And if you're looking Sword and Board's backpack, yeah, he's got his potions here. And it's easy if I've got my heal potions just to drag those down to my menu bar somewhere so that I can use them quickly if I need to use them. So if I need to heal, I can just click on it and poof, he drinks a healing potion, gets some healing points back, and we're all good. So grab potions when you can and be prepared. And I guess the final tip is to follow your leader's guidelines if you're joining a group. Especially if you're new, don't go pulling every lever. Don't run ahead of the party. You know, you don't have to worry about chest so much because chest loot is specific to the person that owned it. It's not like you have to fight over it, except maybe raids, but we'll talk about that in a different video maybe. But so you could pick up anything that's there, but don't go pulling levers or triggering off ahead of the party because you might pull additional mobs and bad guys back. You might trip a trap. There's lots of things that could happen to you. So, you know, as The Rock famously said in the old WWE wrestling ring when he used to compete, is know your role and shut your mouth. Well, don't shut your mouth, but know your role. So if you're new, let the leader lead. And that's it. That's all for our tips. Okay, now you've got the tools to group up and be successful in Dungeons & Dragons Online. So I want you to get out there, start those parties, and folks, if you've got any other tips you'd like to share or any questions, write them in the comments, and I'll be checking those out and responding. In the meantime, if you like this video and you want to help a brother out, please click like and subscribe in YouTube before. Thanks so much. This is Troy with Tavern Tales signing out, and we'll see you in game.